Hi, my name's Chad Mathis. I'm a friend and a former classmate of Dustin and Mo, and wanted to just share a little bit with you all about my musical background and my work as a professional musician. I'm actually from Western North Dakota. I grew up in Watford City, and my first foray into music was piano lessons. I started when I was about 7 or 8, and I continued studying piano all the way through my freshman year of college, and I still use my piano and keyboard chops now, even though I don't actively play piano. I dabbled with many other instruments growing up too. Played the trombone in the band, sang in the choir. My parents were quite supportive. They bought me all sorts of crazy instruments, from guitars to a drum set to an accordion, and eventually an electric bass. I'm primarily a bassist these days. I play both electric and upright bass. And when it came time to choose a field of study, I went to Minnesota State in Moorhead, which is where I met Dustin. And I went there because of their music industry program, and I actually studied audio production. So I learned a lot of techniques about studio recording as well as recording live events. Although in my time there, what I discovered is where my strengths and passions really were in performing as well as teaching. I did a lot of tutoring for music theory courses, and in fact eventually became a TA my last year there for music theory. And I played bass in about as many ensembles and recitals as I possibly could. So even though my degree was in audio production, really my path, was closer to that of maybe say a performance major. But the exposure to music technology was really beneficial. That'll play a role in kind of my current story. When I finished my undergrad, I wanted to deepen my study of my instrument, so I actually pursued a master's degree in music performance from Eastern Illinois University. And just like in my undergrad, I continued playing in as many ensembles as I could, both classical-oriented ensembles like the symphony orchestra, jazz ensembles, and all throughout school, my undergrad and my grad studies, I played a lot of gigs independently of various styles, and that was not only a source of auxiliary income, but it was also a way to kind of sharpen my skills as a musician, to kind of make me versatile and play with a lot of different types of musicians. Eventually, when I finished school in Illinois, I relocated to the Twin Cities, and it was there, thanks to a well-timed gig with a drummer, I found out that a company was hiring called Make Music. They were a software company. At that time, they were located in the Twin Cities, and they were basically hiring in their customer support department. They're a music software company that specializes in music notation software and music practice software. So that really kind of fit in nicely with kind of my field study, my strengths. So I started working there in 2013. And about a year and a half after I started, the company actually relocated to Boulder, Colorado, which is where I'm at currently, and I'm still with Make Music, and I actually manage the customer support team that I started working in back in 2013. So I've been with Make Music just over 7 years, and all the while, both through school and through the time after and working at Make Music, I've continued to perform regularly. In 2019, I played about 70 gigs over the course of the year, mostly with independent singer-songwriters in the Boulder County Front Range area of Colorado. And that versatility that I honed, studying various types of music in school and performing outside of school have continued to serve me, not only as a musician that performs, but then that also informs me as somebody who works to support musicians in this day job that I have at the software company. And it, looking back on it all, it was a path that I didn't necessarily know was out there right away. When I first finished school, I was playing, of course, but I was piecing together various things. I temped for a while. I taught piano lessons for a while. I was even, a cashier at Menards. I went through my share of different jobs, but always kept music in my life because that was kind of, I guess, the driving force. That was what I was really felt driven to do. And I was fortunate enough to be able to, through some networking and some mutual connections, find a gig that I kind of didn't really even know was out there in the form of this software company. And so I'm fortunate now to kind of have married this musical passion into my day job while also continuing to pursue it outside. So that's a little bit about me, my story. Thanks for listening, and kudos to Mr. Mo for putting together media for students and parents, while you're not able to be in the classroom rehearsing with him. So that's it for me. Stay safe.